In preparation for our test that's coming up, I'm going to skip the front side of worksheet 48 because on the test you're not going to be doing any rotations of points. You're only going to be rotating triangles. So that's what we're going to focus on right now. Was there any problem on the back, 7 through 12? We're looking at worksheet 48. Once again, 048. Was there any problems on the back that anyone had particular trouble with that they want to talk about real quick? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, Victor.
9.
Number 9, perfect. And then I want to do, we'll do number 8. 8 and 9, and then we'll flip over to 49. So, here we go, number 8. We're going to rotate 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. Now that we know what our rule is, if we don't want to use our slide, we don't have to. We could always just write out our pre-image coordinates, apply the rule, and then plot our image coordinates. That's definitely an option for you. But when we initially got this worksheet, we didn't know the rule, so this is how we're going to use our slide just as a review once again. We're going to mark a plus right there at our origin. We're going to dot all 3 of our points, J, K, L. We're going to label at least 2 of the points. I'll do K and L just because they're the furthest away from my origin there. And we're going to go 90 degrees clockwise. Is that going to be to the right or to the left? Right. To the right. So here we go to the right. 1 turn until that plus sign lines right back up. And there's where our new triangle will live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over this point with my pen. I'll move my slide out of the way, and then I'll mark my dot right there. Line it back up. K prime is going to be right there. K prime. Line it back up again. L prime will be right there. So that must be J prime. Hopefully using a ruler, we connect all 3 of these points together, and we get a nice rotation of our triangle. Something interesting here that I kind of want to point out. Take a look at our pre-image, right? Where we have point J here. Point J is in a separate quadrant than point K and point L. You guys see what I mean? K and L are up here in quadrant 1. J is down here in quadrant 4. So I'm going to highlight just this little piece of the triangle that went past our axis, right? And that leads up with point J. Now let's take a look at our image triangle. K prime and L prime are both in the same quadrant, but again we see that J prime is in its own quadrant over here. If we want to highlight the portion of this triangle that crosses the axis for J prime, we see that they're the exact same amount of triangle. I don't know, the exact same, what is it called? Area? There we go. The exact same area of that small little triangle there. So this is a nice thing to point out because it shows that when we rotate our triangle, we're creating a new triangle. It's the same triangle, but it's a new triangle in a new position, but it's proportional to our original triangle in the sense that this hanging off piece of triangle there is the same size as it is there. So if you see that things don't line up, maybe if you got your J prime up here or something like that, double check and make sure that you didn't make a mistake when you were doing your rotation. Okay? Not a super important thing to point out. I apologize. I kind of fumbled over that explanation, but anyway. Just something to point out in case you notice it. Okay. Victor says we'll go to 9, so let's go ahead and go to 9. Now we're going to go 90 degrees still. We're only going to turn our slide once, but now are we going to turn to the left or are we going to turn to the right? We're going to turn to the left now, right? Or correct?
Yes.
Good. Why is this not erasing? These slides can be really annoying when they don't erase, so I don't blame you if you just want to use the rule and not mess around with this slide. But anyway, mark up our plus. K, M, L, L, K. Now we're going 90 degrees counterclockwise, which is to the left. But let's just say, for the sake of explanation here, that I don't really know which way I'm supposed to turn. I'm going to use my rotation helper to give me a boost here. So once I have my slide lined up and everything drawn, I'm going to place my rotation helper directly over that slide with the start facing up. And I'm going to find on this little square, wherever it says 90 degrees counterclockwise. I can see that it's right here on the right-hand side. So I'm going to turn both little squares until 90 degrees counterclockwise is on the top. Boom. We started with start on the top. We need to make a rotation of 90 degrees counterclockwise. So we're going to turn both of those squares once to the left. 90 counterclockwise is now at the top. You may also notice that also at the top is 270 degrees clockwise. That's because one turn to the right versus 3 turns to the left lands you in the same exact spot. But we're not going to worry about 270. You move your rotation helper out of the way. You got to recenter your origin, obviously. But now you can see where your 3 image points are going to be. K prime's right there. M prime is right there. And L prime is right there. Connect all 3 of your points together to form your new image triangle. Just like that. Any questions on graphing these rotations? Okay, I feel like we're feeling pretty good. So let's go ahead and give worksheet 48 to whoever's in seat number 1 of your group, and we'll flip on over to worksheet 49.